Hello. Welcome back to Slow English Wander. I'm Alex, your companion in the quiet flows of human stories. If the origins of language in our last journey connected us to ancient voices, subscribe now to trace a new thread. Today, we wander through the roots of finance, the system that shapes our world, and the cycles of boom and bust that rise and fall like tides. Finance is the way we handle money, trade, and value. It is not just numbers on paper. It is a story of human need, clever minds, and the rise and fall of dreams. This is how finance formed, from simple swaps to global systems, and how its waves of boom and bust have changed lives across time. Our tale begins long ago, before money was coins or notes. In ancient times, people traded goods directly. A farmer gave grain for a tool. This was barter, a simple exchange. But barter had limits. What if you had chickens but needed shoes? You had to find someone who wanted chickens. This need led to the birth of money, a shared value all agreed on. In Mesopotamia, around 3000 before Christ, people used shells or barley as money. These were easy to carry, a step forward. Picture a market in Sumer, a city of clay and rivers. A trader weighs barley on a scale. "This for your cloth," he says. The scale balances, and trust seals the deal. This was finance's first shape, a system born from need. Historians say these early trades built cities as people gathered to exchange. Science of value began here, with weights and measures to keep things fair. Then came coins, around 600 before Christ, in Lydia, now Turkey. Kings stamped metal with lions or seals. These coins were easy to carry, hard to fake. Trade grew. Merchants traveled roads like the Silk Road from our earlier tales, carrying coins that all trusted. This was a leap. Money was no longer a thing like grain. It was a promise, a belief in value. Economists call this fiat, where money has worth because we agree it does. Banks formed next, in ancient Greece and Rome. Temples kept gold safe, lending it out for interest. A borrower took coins to buy a ship, paying back more later. This was lending, a core of finance. In Rome, around 100 before Christ, bankers sat on benches in forums, counting coins. The word bank comes from bench. This system spread, building empires, but it also brought risks. Boom and bust are finance's waves. Boom is when value rises fast, like a river flooding. Bust is the fall, like the river drying up. The first big bust was tulip mania in Holland, 1637. Tulips, flowers from Turkey, became treasures. People traded bulbs like gold. Prices soared. A bulb cost as much as a house, but it was illusion. When doubt came, prices crashed. Families lost everything. This was a bubble, a story of greed. Scientists say psychology drove it. People saw others get rich, so they joined, ignoring risk. Another wave hit in 1929, the Great Depression in America. The stock market boomed in the 1920s. People bought shares, pieces of companies, thinking prices would always rise. Banks lent money easily, but it was a dream. When fear spread, people sold. The market crashed. Millions lost jobs, homes. This bust lasted 10 years, spreading worldwide. Economists learned from it. They saw how belief in growth can turn to panic. Now, governments watch to stop big falls. In 2008, another bust shook the world. Banks lent money for homes even to those who could not pay. They bundled loans like packages, selling them as safe. But it was a lie. When payments stopped, the packages fell apart. Banks failed, jobs vanished. This was the financial crisis, a story of hidden risk. Science of behavior shows why. Greed blinded leaders, ignoring warnings. Now, rules are stricter to protect the system. Finance's origins teach us balance. From barter to coins to banks, it grew from trust. But when trust twists, boom turns to bust. History shows cycles repeat like seasons. Science explains the mind's role in fear and hope. Culture adds lessons from ancient markets to modern trades. Let's learn 3 simple words from this story. First, money. Money is a thing we use to buy and sell. Second, trade. Trade is giving something to get something else. Third, crisis. Crisis is a time of trouble. Picture a market long ago. You hold a coin stamped with a king's face. You trade it for bread. The baker trusts its value. Now, think of today. You use a card to buy food. The system works on belief, but if trust breaks, the chain snaps. Try these sentences with me. Money comes from trade. Your turn. Boom leads to bust. Try it. History teaches balance. You try. Well done. These words hold finance's lesson. What does this teach us? Finance is a tool, born from need. Its history is cycles of rise and fall. Science reveals the mind's traps like greed. Culture reminds us of trust's power. To avoid chains, we learn from past busts, building better systems. Share in the comments. What money story have you seen, like a boom or bust? Your tale adds to this web. Here's a quiet truth. Finance is a river we all sail. Its origins are simple exchanges, but its waves can lift or sink us. Wisdom is the compass that keeps us steady. Thank you for wandering with me, Alex, on Slow English Wander. May this tale steady your steps. Subscribe now for more stories of our world's heart. Hit the bell for notifications. We release new videos regularly each week. If questions rise, email us at slowenglishwander@gmail.com. Until next time, wanderers, may your paths find balance.